Good morning, dear students. Today we are about to start new chapter, that is chapter number 14, water. Now, as you all know that water is a very essential component of our life. Without water we cannot survive, and it's essential to live. We need to consume water to live. Now, water is a natural resource which is vital for both plants and animals. It is made up of tiny molecules of oxygen and hydrogen. Therefore, oxygen and hydrogen they combine together to form water molecule. If I talk of the earth's surface, our earth's surface is covered with water, that is about 3/4 in ratio. That is why earth is known as a water planet or a blue planet, because it is covered with a huge amount of water. So this was all of basic introduction about water. Now we will study about different forms of water. As you know that water exists in three different forms, that is your solid, liquid and gas. Now the solid form of water. Ice which is found at the poles of the earth is actually the solid form of water. The glaciers and the snow covered mountain is solid form of water. And if you keep the water in the refrigerator, in the freezer itself, that water actually freezes into a solid particle, that is your ice. So therefore we can say that the glaciers and the snow and the water in the freezer in cube form is your solid form of water. Secondly, we will talk of liquid form of water. Liquid form of water is in your rivers, lakes, seas and oceans. These are all your liquid form of water. Now coming on to the gaseous state of water, the water vapor that is present in the air, or the water, when you heat up the water it gets converted into vapor. That vapor state is known as the gaseous state of water. So these were three different forms of water, that is solid, liquid and gas. Now you must be knowing about the uses of water. Water is so precious to all of us and it has a variety of uses in our lives. Without water we cannot survive. So talking of the uses of the water, if we talk of the farmers they need a lot of water to irrigate the crop or to irrigate the plants that they grow, and that food we actually utilize at our homes. Secondly, the factories need a lot of water to produce items required. If you talk of the factories, for producing some of the products, they require a huge amount of water. Thirdly, we use water in our daily lives for bathing, drinking, washing, cooking, and many other activities, for cleaning our houses. So, we use water in our daily life in a huge amount. So water is very essential and precious for all of us. So we should not waste even a single drop of water. We need to utilize it in a proper way and in a judicious way. And also we need to conserve water for our future generation. Coming on to the next topic, that is sources of water. From where we actually get this water. Number one source of water is the rain water. If I talk of the rainwater is the prime source of water. Physically, rainwater is very clear and sparkling and bright. Third point, if I talk of bacteriologically, rainwater is free from pathogenic agents. It does not have any of the bacteria or any of the pathogens. Pathogens are actually your disease causing organisms. So, rainwater is free from pathogenic agents. Chemically, if I talk about rainwater, it is very soft, containing traces of dissolved solids. Again, I will be repeating about this rainwater, one of the sources of water. It is the prime source of water. Physically, rainwater is very clear, sparkling, and bright. Rainwater is free from all the pathogenic agents, and chemically, if I talk of, it is very soft, containing traces of dissolved solids. So this was one of the source of water from where you receive the very essential component of life, that is your water. Second source of water we will be studying about is the surface water. Surface water actually originates from rainwater and it is main source of water supply in many areas. Surface water is the water that is present on the surface of the earth that you can see in rivers, lakes, oceans, right? Now second point, if I talk of surface water is prone to contamination from animal and human sources. Now what people do is they go nearby lakes and rivers, they wash clothes, sometimes they actually dump their garbage in the rivers, and factories they dump their waste directly into the rivers without chemically treating them. This actually pollutes the river water, or you can say the surface water. And animals also, they bath in that water and they pollute the water, and then they go for drinking the same water. Thereby we can say that surface water is prone to contamination from animal and human sources. Then the next point is it needs to purify before use. Before the water it comes to your homes, you do not drink it directly. You basically filter the water and then you drink it. So therefore, before using the water, we actually purify it. So the example of surface water is your lakes, rivers, tanks, etc., etc. So again I am repeating once more. Surface water originate from rainwater. It is the main source of water supply in many areas. It is prone to contamination from animal and human sources. It needs to be purified before use. And the example of surface water is your lakes, rivers and tanks. The next source of water we will study is the groundwater. Let's study about groundwater. Now the groundwater is the cheapest and most practical means of providing water to small communities. Second point, groundwater is superior to surface water. It is better than surface water. Why groundwater is better than surface water? Because the ground itself provides an effective medium to filter the water, or you can say it provides an effective filtering medium. So therefore groundwater is superior to surface water, and also it is the cheapest source of water and the most practical means of providing water to small communities. I hope groundwater is clear. Now coming on to the next topic, that is the water cycle. So what is water cycle? Water cycle is actually your continuous circulation of water in nature. Now water cycle comprises of three processes. Number one is your evaporation. Number two is your precipitation. Number three is runoff. Talking of evaporation means conversion of liquid to vapor is called your evaporation. When the sun rays they fall on the sea water or the ocean water, it gets heated up and it gets converted into what? Liquid into vapor state. So therefore when liquid is converted into its vapor form, that is called as evaporation. Second point is precipitation. Precipitation means falling down of water from the clouds. When water falls from the clouds, it gets cooled up, it falls from the cloud. This process is known as precipitation. Then third, runoff means it is a process in which the water of the land usually reaching the sea. When the water that falls on the land reaches the sea, that process is known as runoff. What happens is the water in the oceans and the rivers get heated up because of the rays of the sunlight, Once it gets heated up, it evaporates in the air and get converted into vapors. Then these vapors, they cool down, they condense, and then when they condense, they are cooled. This process is known as condensation. Now when this cooled water, it falls on the earth from the clouds, the falling down of water means precipitation, and then the water runs off to the sea or the rivers. This is how the continuous circulation of water in nature takes place, and hence it is known as water cycle. Thank you kids. Have a wonderful day ahead. We will continue the next content in the next lesson.